Imagine if you could see the carbon emissions of every person on Earth. What would that look like? Now let's dive into a mind-boggling fact. The world's richest 1%, a mere group of about 70 million people, emit about the same amount of carbon as the poorest two-thirds of our population. Yes, you heard it right. These 70 million are responsible for as much pollution as over 5 billion people combined. Think of it as a seesaw. On one side, you have a small cluster of high-powered individuals, and on the other side, a massive crowd of over 5 billion people. Yet the seesaw is perfectly balanced. This paints a stark picture of the disparity in carbon emissions across the world. We often talk about equality, fairness, and balance, but the reality is far from it. It's a sobering thought, isn't it? That's right, the world's wealthiest few are responsible for a staggering amount of our planet's carbon emissions. Now let's delve a bit deeper into the carbon footprint of the world's wealthiest individuals. Picture this. An average person would have to live for a mind-boggling 1,500 years to emit the same amount of carbon as a billionaire does in just a single year. That's equivalent to the entire span of history since the fall of the Roman Empire. Consider your daily routine. Maybe you drive to work, heat your home, buy groceries, all activities that result in carbon emissions. But even if you live that same day, every day, for your whole life, you wouldn't come close to the carbon footprint of a billionaire in a year. These ultra-wealthy individuals often own multiple homes, fly in private jets, and embark on luxury yachts, all carbon-intensive activities. So, while we all contribute to carbon emissions, the scale of contribution varies massively based on wealth. We've learned some shocking facts today, but what does this all mean? Well, let's break it down. The carbon emissions from the world's wealthiest 1% are equivalent to those of the poorest two-thirds of the population. That's right, the richest sliver of society is responsible for the same amount of emissions as billions of people. This disparity is staggering, and it's not just about numbers. It's about the fundamental inequality in our global fight against climate change. The carbon footprint of the wealthy is a stark reminder of the disproportionate impact that a small group can have on our planet. It's a wake-up call, a call to action. It underscores the urgent need for change, for a shift in our habits, in our consumption patterns, and in our values. It's clear that in order to make meaningful progress in reducing carbon emissions, the world's wealthiest must play a significant role.